Listen, we all know that we should have our universities look at what all the programs are.
I don't think you really thought through this viewpoint diversity
ideology
issue.
that you're trying to put forth is a false narrative.
Okay.
And the funding is a privilege.
Madam Secretary, reclaim my time. Does refusing to hire a Holocaust denier as a member of Harvard's history department faculty count as an ideological litmus test?
I believe that there should be diversity of viewpoints relative to teachings and opinions on campuses.
Well, what about this situation of Harvard's history department, and they're looking for another department member? Would being a Holocaust denier count
I do
as
know that Harvard did replace its head of Middle Eastern Studies even before we looked at it because they believed that they needed to make changes already.
Okay, can you explain to me how cutting funding to improve, cutting funding to cancer research, which may save the lives of children, will help Jewish students on campus?
Well, we had to put some teeth in the anti-Semitism studies, so we used, that actually didn't come from the Department of Education, that came from HHS. So therefore, Harvard had indicated that it might even take from its endowment, which is $53 billion, some funds to continue that research, and I think that might have been a really good use for some of those funds.
Well, I think it's pretty clear you haven't really thought through this whole viewpoint.
Well, you wouldn't know because you haven't allowed me to answer my questions, but thank you.
Well, I think you were showing that you couldn't really answer the questions.
The gentleman's time has expired.
I yield back.
I thank the gentleman. Now I recognize the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Grothman.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to comment on a statement made by our newest member here. In Wisconsin, I felt one of the things we did to improve education the most is stand up to the teachers union and allow some of the worst teachers to be let go. And I think it's disappointing we have people who think the key to improving education is unionizing the schools, and unionizing the schools inevitably means you can't get rid of the worst teachers. So just a little bit my personal experience in Wisconsin. Second thing, people here mention the GED. And at least in Wisconsin, we weren't allowed, even as a state legislator, to see the GED. But somebody released it to me anyway, I guess breaking the law. And I was shocked at how easy those tests were. It was almost comical. I'm going to ask you, will you do what you can to, at least for some states, I don't know if it's a nationwide thing or a state-by-state thing, release some of these GED exams, even if they're 4 or 5 years old, so the public can see what they mean?
Well, thank you for your question. I'm not sure that's under my jurisdiction, but I would like to look into it and get back to you on that.
Okay. Next thing, just covering workforce Pell just a second. I know it sounds good. At least in Wisconsin, when I talked to trucking firms, I saw, I toured a manufacturer last week who was paying for the tech school degrees for its employees even before the people were employed there. Same thing with construction firms, paying for the education. So I kind of felt a little bit that this workforce Pell is we're driving in and paying for stuff the private sector's taking care of already. So I'll just ask you to look into that. Now, as far as bias and the anti-Semitism in universities, to me it's part and parcel of a larger problem. Anybody who's been involved in Republican politics for a while has met students who have to lie routinely on tests to feel they have to get a good score. And it's because you have this monolithic left wing that is got almost all, in some disciplines, of the teaching jobs. And, and to me, this anti-Semitism is increasingly part of the left wing zeitgeist that's everywhere in the universities, global warming, greatly exaggerated amount of bias in the universities, that sort of thing. What do you think, and I honestly don't know the answer to this, what do you think we can do about the overwhelming left-wing bias in so many disciplines at the universities?